Now that I've looked at this piece for quite some time, I have more ideas about what I think it means. But first, I think we should consider where it came from and who it came from. Lucio Pazio created this, and he was born in Italy and came to America to teach and create art. Later, he won many awards. In my first observation, I was wrong in thinking it was acrylic. It's actually made of oil, as the label described, and it was made in 1988. Looking at this piece, what I see now is someone's brain exploding, specifically Lucio's brain. I think it's supposed to represent the objects coming out of the center, and the way that they're so clustered in the center and then spaced out the further they get from the center, I think it's supposed to represent these things coming out of someone's brain. I also know that Lucio Pazzi, I might be saying that wrong, but he had a very busy life and he consumed himself in a lot of different things. So that's why I continue to say that I think this painting is his brain and all of his memories coming out of it. I wanted to go back to how I saw these body shapes, and at first glance I said I think they represent entrapment, but looking back at everything I know now, I think the bodies and the way they're moving represent growth. I still think the bars in the top corner represent reward, but I also think the faces are supposed to show different people in his life, and I don't think we're supposed to be able to make out some of the objects. Such as this one, we could all have different interpretations of what it means. But I don't think there's one right answer. Even knowing everything I do and looking at this piece for as long as I have, I think it was created to make us wonder. Maybe because we can never fully understand what's going on in somebody else's head. We just have to wonder and make our best assumptions, which would elaborate on my theory that this is his brain and he's showing us what's inside and what he thinks about. The last thing I wanted to point out, from what I'm interpreting, the top of the artwork seems like more pleasant memories or things he thinks about, with the faces, and we're going to assume the gold bars and the telephone and the almost flower-looking object in the corner. From what I'm getting, these are his more pleasant memories. And I think on the lower end are his more sad or poor memories, with the two faces arguing, and these two faces look almost mended together, and the objects are harder to make out on the lower half. I think this is maybe because upsetting emotions are harder to understand for us. And then right in the middle of these good and bad emotions, we have these bodies that I think represent growth. And even just that one part can be interpreted in so many different ways. Maybe learning how to deal with our emotions, learning how to grow past our bad emotions.